There's our xiaolong bao.
Oh, it's steamy hot. Look at the hot steam coming out.
Now, for those of you who have not eaten xiaolong bao, you need to be very careful because the inside there is napalm. It will burn your mouth if you're not careful. The hot soup in there is so hot, but it's good.
But the way I think I like to eat it is you don't want to lose the soup inside, right?
No.
So put it in your spoon, and it does get kind of hot, right? So,
Right.
So you want to kind of open it. Here, let me just
Some
open
people
a little
just
bit.
bite a little hole in it
Yeah.
and let the soup drain out into the spoon.
So you'll see all of this juice coming out, all of the soup. Not sure if you can see it. That's the soup. So you want to? That's really good. And I add my little ginger, and then you just. Let's see if I can take one bite.
Now they are small enough that you could just put the whole thing in your mouth without breaking it, but you're taking a risk because, like I said, it is usually really hot in there, and you're risking your taste buds for the next few weeks. We are at South Coast Plaza. We are going to have a dim sum brunch at Din Tai Fung. Now, Din Tai Fung is a Taiwanese dim sum place. They also have other Taiwanese food. The very first time Young and I ate there, we were in Sydney, Australia, and the dollar in the US dollar was worth $1 Australian. In other words, everything in Australia was twice as expensive as it is now, and at least for us. And so we wound up going to Din Tai Fung, which was in a small little food court in the middle of a shopping center in the center of town. It's the first time we tried it. It was really good. We came here when they opened here at South Coast Plaza a few years ago, and we weren't as impressed as the one we had at Sydney, but everybody's been raving about it ever since. So it must be good. Again, we're going to go try it and give it another shot, and I think it may very well be a lot better than what we did. I like oolong unless you want. Yeah, oolong.
Yes, thank you.
And then would you like waters as well, sir?
Yes, please.
Okay, got it. Thank you so much. I'll get this started for you.
All right, thanks. Oh my goodness.
Oh my God, Herman knows what to do.
It's so fun. It is so fresh.
I like that ginger.
Actually, here, see that?
This looks like soy sauce.
Yeah. This is
No, it's chili oil. This is chili oil.
wine, like vinegar and so Din Tai Fung started in Taiwan. I think it's like part of started in early 70s in Taipei, okay? And it's actually the very first restaurant. It's so tiny, probably like a 1,500 square feet big. And at first, the business wasn't so good. But I think it was the Japanese tourists that made it famous. Then the next thing you know, there's like a huge line out the door. And it's in every like tourist sites from Japan. So it made it really famous. If you go to Taiwan, the one in the first one, the wait is just as crazy as the wait that's all over the world right now. So it's probably like a 2-hour wait. And the place is just so tiny. The restaurant itself
Falling
is
all
at
over the
3
place.
levels. And so they lift, like they'll give you,
Here, this is
they'll
for
give
you, but
the-
you're gonna get the noodles
Oh,
because
yeah.
they keep falling all over
There
the
we go.
place.
Okay, so this is the beef noodle, right?
Yes.
Look how good that is. Oh, that's so good. Okay, let's do this. I'm gonna get this for you actually, because I'm not gonna eat that much.
Well,
And
I
I
will.
show you, I know, a piece of beef. That's so good. There you go.
Thank
Let's
you.
start. Sure. That's it.
I'm gonna drop these everywhere, so. Soup is really good.
Yeah.
A really rich beef taste to it. I love noodles. Noodles are wonderful.
Yeah, me too. Is it spicy? Is it spicy? No, right?
No,
Just very
I ordered
sweet, yeah.
sriracha for you so you can spice yours up.
Yeah.
I will mention that the beef itself is very soft. It's very rich flavored. The whole thing is very rich. It's a fatty soup, but it's good. It's really good. And the noodles give it a nice like counterpoint to the soup and the beef. I would have loved a little bit more of the bok choy in it. The bok choy is really good in here. And I think I tend to like a little more vegetables in my soup, but this is fine like it is.
Yeah. And even though it looks super kind of oily, kind of thick, it's actually very light. The flavor is very light and very refreshing. Surprisingly.
I agree. It's got a little bit of a pepper aftertaste, but it's not spicy.
Yeah, that's true.
It's char siu bao. It's not really char siu, it's kurobuta pork.
Okay, I've never had this one. Oh, wow. Oh, it's hot though.
Yeah.
So hot. Okay. Ready? Yeah. Wow. Oh, that's big. Oh, that's good. Yeah. Okay.
Okay, so I'm trying the kurobuta pork bun. It's like a char siu bao, but the pork isn't as sweet as char siu. The bun itself is not as sweet as I'm used to, but coming from Hawaii, we have what are called manapua, which are giant char siu baos, and the bread in that is usually very sweet. This is not a sweet bread. It's still delicious, and I always like it, and I think of my childhood. We used to eat these as snacks after school.
Okay, this is yours. Okay. Oh, the bread is so fluffy.
There it is.
Very light. Wow.
Heavy ginger flavor to it.
Speaking of that,
The pork inside is like a ground pork. It's not whole pork. So you got like a pork meatball inside a bao. It's really good.
I eat everything with ginger. Wow. Can you open any of the xiaolong bao, any of these dumplings with lots of ginger? That's how I eat it. I love it with ginger.
I know. Everything tastes better with lots of ginger and garlic. And hot sauce.
It's so good.
And kimchi.
And kimchi.
There's our xiaolong bao.
Oh, it's steamy hot. Look at the hot steam coming out.
Now for those of you who have not eaten xiaolong bao, you need to be very careful because the inside there is napalm. It will burn your mouth if you're not careful. The hot soup in there is so hot, but it's good. And Young and I had gone to Sydney one summer for a trip, and the US dollar was way down, and the Australian dollar, one Australian dollar was equal to one US dollar, which is about twice as much as what it's normally worth. So everything in Australia at the time cost twice as much as what we're used to. So we were eating in food courts, and we were eating really cheap stuff, and Din Tai Fung was in a food court there, so we said, let's go there. It was so good, we wound up eating there like several days.
Yeah.
But that was the first time we had xiaolong bao, and we've had it many times since.
Yeah.
We've been to New York. They serve it at Joe's Shanghai in New York, and that's kind of where they introduced it to the U.S.
I see.
Yeah.
So let me ask you,
Yeah.
since you've had Din Tai Fung all over the world, right?
Uh-huh.
Do you think the taste changed from place to place?
A little bit.
Okay.
I really like the one in Australia. The first time I came here,
Yeah.
I didn't think it was as good. Today it's really good.
Okay.
So they've improved a bit
I
since
see.
they first opened.
Right. I mean, it does. I think compared to Taiwan too, it has a change in its flavoring, its
Right.
taste, and the menu too.
Right.
Like here in California, we get like a whole array of different drink menus. In Taiwan, we don't get that. It's all about the food. So this is kind of, I mean, I think this is the fun part here in the States. The kids love, the drinks are so good, extremely Taiwanese flavors, so very authentic.
Yeah.
So that's the difference for me. And I like it, I can tell, yeah.
Yeah, I will tell you, most Chinese restaurants in all over the U.S., they change according to the area that you're in. For example, for a while I was working in the Midwest.
Yeah.
We went to Springfield, Missouri. And in Springfield, Missouri, they had a Chinese restaurant that they went crazy. They said, you got to try the cashew chicken.
Yeah.
So I went there, I tried the cashew chicken. It was essentially fried chicken, like chicken fried steak, with gravy and cashews on it.
Oh, my goodness.
Very Midwest flavor, not particularly Chinese. And then in Kansas City, when I was there, they had what they call crab rangoon, which is basically a crab wonton with cream cheese in it.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So, and growing up in Hawaii, I'm a lot more used to the original, authentic Chinese style because Hawaii tends to have more authentic Chinese than even here in California. Here in California, you get a lot more vegetables. You get different kinds of flavors.
Yeah.
In New York, it tends to be a little greasier.
Yeah.
It's just different places. They adapt to the cultural taste of the area where the restaurant is.
Right, you're right. And, maybe the local ingredients too, right?
Yeah, I agree. Now, these are spicy wontons.
This one, you have to mix it really well. It has a little kick to it, but it's not too spicy, I don't think. Where is that? Yummy. Okay, yummy. Cucumber, whole cucumber. Mix that really well. Radish.
Yummy.
And even though it doesn't look like it's got a lot of ingredients on top, but when you mix everything, it's really flavorful. And it also has, because it's got the cold cucumber, the radish in it, it gives it like a little crunch and texture. Ready?
That looks really good.
Want to try?
Now, the spicy wontons, I'm sure Young will say, are not spicy at all. They have a little bit of spice. You can feel it at the back of your throat. Yes, thank you. But they're not super strong in the spice department. They're just spicy enough for me. Not spicy enough for her. That's why I got her an extra dish of sriracha sauce.
Oh, okay. But usually too, Taiwanese people like what's called mala, right? So numbing spicy. So this has that little bit of numbing taste, but it's not extreme. It's actually one of my favorite dishes.
This bao is so good.
Right?
I think it's shrimp and pork.
Okay.
I love dim sum, but unfortunately there are not a lot of really good dim sum places here in Orange County. Din Tai Fung is one of the better ones. Capital Seafood is pretty good, but they have Empress Pavilion. Empress Pavilion is up in LA, and that's got pretty good dim sum. Down here they have, I don't remember, there's a place in Garden Grove. Normally if I want dim sum, I go to San Francisco. Otherwise, maybe I'll take a trip to LA and I'll get it there.
Right.
And Hawaii has some pretty good dim sum. You, David, and Young and me went.
Yeah.
It was probably like 2 years ago.
Oh, wow. Probably.
Quite a while ago.
Right.
So it's kind of nice.
Yeah. But my favorite dish is that spicy wonton.
I love those spicy wonton. I've got to remember the name of that restaurant over on, I think it's off Culver.
Yeah.
It's really tiny restaurant, and it's cash only, and it's like I said,
cash only.
yes, a bowl of tiny spicy wontons, really good, only $5 for the whole thing. It was great.
You have to text me.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gotta
so
remember.
By the way, the fried rice here is really good too.
Oh, really?
You guys have never had it? I didn't order that for you?
No.
Next time. Okay.
Which one? The pork chop or
the pork chop is really good. Yeah. So that's really
Okay.
It's light, but it's flavorful too. Most of the dishes are that way,
Yeah.
Egg and stuff like that, and then all the redness will go away.
Oh, wow.
Is this the chocolate one?
No, I think this is the taro.
Oh, the taro one. And the taro comes in little ones too.
Yes.
But this is good.
Oh, okay, just leave it. Okay.
Seriously, it's so good. Okay.
This is the important part of dinner, or lunch. This is dessert.
Dessert.
It's still hot, huh?
It's really hot. I gotta eat
Good.
when it's hot. Look at that.
Yeah, that's quite a lot of fillings.
Now, this is taro bao, or for my friends in Hawaii, it's like a poi manapua. You like it?
Taro is very soft. It's not so sweet.
Good.
And when you open it, oh, I love the smells of bun. You know what I mean?
Yes.
It's like reminds me of my childhood. So good.
And,
Taro is one of Young's favorite foods. So,
and a lot of times too, the smell adds to our taste, right? So it has to smell good.
their baos are interesting here. They're not as sweet as I'm used to,
Yeah.
but they're very good.
But their bao is also very well made because
Yes.
it's very soft, right? A lot of places when you bite into the bao, it's
I
like
know.
hard.
Almost like crispy on the outside
Right,
or
very
something.
doughy, too doughy.
So soft.
Right?
Yeah. When I smell, oh, the smell. Don't you love
Smells
it?
like taro.
No, the smell of the bun.
Oh,
Yes.
you smell the bun?
Oh, so good.
Yes.
That's why you can tell good bun.
Yes. Thank you.
Not very good one doesn't smell good, right?
Right.
Doesn't smell good.
Right.
Smell funky.
You build some arm muscles after working here?
Do you want to keep the lid on?
Yeah. No, go ahead and open it. Thank you. Oh, there you go.
Oh my goodness.
Stevie, you want to do it now?
No, because I'll mess it up. Helen can do it.
Ooh, look at that. Ooh, this is out. Yeah, that chocolate.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. Now that's a xiaolong ball.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Smoke is on my...
That's like a Hershey bar wrapped in a dumpling.
That's a really good description. Now I want one just because you said that.
It's so good.
Yeah.
I could finish all 5. I'm not going to, but I could. I am, however, going to eat 3 of them.
Yeah. Do you want to save the other 2?
So good.
So good.
So good.
So we had a very pleasant lunch here. Had everything I ever wanted. I didn't finish it all. We're taking a bunch of it home, but it's going to be really good. And this time was better than our first time here. It still wasn't as good as the one we had in Australia, but it's still very, very good. We had a wonderful time, and the time spent with Helen is always a pleasure. So we enjoyed that as well. So this is our dim sum experience in Orange County. Soon we'll be in Hawaii. We can try it over there. That works.
Really nice.
Yeah. Oh,